All right, so we're diving deep today into silver,
Okay.
taking a close look at what's been happening with silver prices lately.
Yeah.
Some really fascinating trading analysis you shared with me that we're going to dig into together. And our goal here is to help everyone listening understand what's driving all this recent volatility in silver and maybe where it might be heading next.
Exactly.
And this analysis looks at price action from like last week all the way up to today.
Yeah.
And it points out some pretty specific trading levels that I think we need to break down
For sure.
to really understand
Absolutely.
what's going on.
It's key.
Okay, so last week silver took a pretty dramatic tumble.
Right.
Over 13% in just 2 days.
2 days, yeah.
And your analysis points out that it closed below the S5 Camarilla level
Yes.
on the hourly chart.
Exactly.
So for those of us who, don't eat, sleep, and breathe trading every day,
Sure.
what does breaking below that S5 level tell us about how intense that downward move really was?
So think of Camarilla levels as like potential floors and ceilings.
Okay.
Areas of support and resistance.
Got it.
And S5 is the 5th level of support.
Okay.
And it's based on a calculation that basically projects these levels.
Right.
So closing below S5 really signals strong selling pressure.
Yeah.
The price just blew through multiple potential floors.
Right. Very quickly.
Quite rapidly.
Okay, so that paints a pretty clear picture.
Yeah.
Now, this week, the analysis shows that silver found some stabilization with support at a different hourly level,
Right.
S3 Camarilla.
Yep.
And then almost immediately after that,
Right.
we saw a really rapid climb on the 15-minute chart.
Exactly.
From that S3 all the way up to R3. So
Yeah.
quite a quick turnaround.
Yeah, that's what's really fascinating here.
Yeah.
You see this powerful bearish momentum initially,
Yeah.
but then that bounce off of S3.
Right.
The 3rd level of projected support.
Okay.
And that quick move up to R3.
Yeah.
The 3rd level of projected resistance.
It just shows that buyers stepped back in
Right.
with force, at least in the short term.
Yeah, for sure. So we saw this sharp drop, then a quick jump back up.
Exactly.
So to get a little bit broader perspective here.
Yeah.
Your analysis highlights a 3-month price range for silver between $34.86
Right.
and $28.74.
Exactly.
And today, there was what's called a sharp mean reversion,
Yeah.
bouncing off that lower end of the range.
Right off that 28.74.
So can you just explain what's significant about that 3-month range
Sure.
and this mean reversion?
So basically, that 3-month range gives us
Yeah.
the recent high and low points for silver
Okay.
that it's traded within.
Right.
So that bounce off the 28.74 level
Yeah.
really suggests that it's acting as a significant area of buying interest.
I see.
And sharp mean reversion basically means that after that move down toward the low of the range.
The price quickly snapped back towards the average price within that range.
Okay.
So it really indicates a tendency for silver to stay within
Okay.
those established boundaries,
At least for now.
at least for the time being, yeah.
Interesting. So for somebody listening who's thinking about actively trading based on these kinds of movements,
Right.
what are some of the key takeaways from this analysis that you shared?
So the analysis suggests watching the bigger picture,
Okay.
using weekly charts
Got it.
to understand the overall trend.
Okay.
And then for more precise timing on potential trades,
Yeah.
the hourly charts become more valuable
Makes sense.
for spotting entry and exit points
Right.
around those support and resistance levels.
Got it.
And the source you provided actually estimates
Yeah.
potential gains of 6 to 9%
Wow.
every few weeks
Okay.
by playing these swings.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Now, what about the listener who maybe isn't into that active trading life?
Sure.
They like the idea of silver, but they want something a little more hands-off.
Right.
What would you say to them?
So for those looking for a potentially lower risk way to play,
Okay.
silver ETFs are mentioned
Right.
as an option.
Yeah.
These allow exposure to silver prices without the leverage
Mm-hmm.
and the need for constant monitoring
Right.
that comes with active trading.
Yeah, so you don't have to live and breathe the charts all day long.
Exactly.
All right, so to sum it all up, we've seen this huge drop in silver,
Right.
followed by a pretty strong rebound,
Yeah,
all within this defined 3-month price range.
exactly.
And depending on your risk tolerance and how involved you want to be,
Right.
you could either be looking at actively trading those swings
Sure.
or maybe considering silver ETFs for a potentially less volatile approach.
Yep, that's a good way to put it.
Okay, so here's something to think about.
All right.
Based on all this
Yeah.
and this idea that silver might kind of stay in this range between 34.86 and 28.74 for a bit. What do you think might actually cause silver to break out of this range? What global events or specific factors could really shake things up?
Yeah.
And what would be like the key indicators to watch for that could signal that kind of big move is about to happen?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
For everyone listening to ponder.
All right. Well, thanks for walking us through all of this.
You got it.
Really appreciate this deep dive into the silver market.
My pleasure.
Until next time.
Take care.
See ya.